2024 to order at 7 o'clock. Roll call, Jake,
Present.
Alicia,
Here.
Mark,
Here.
Brad,
Here.
Clay's here, Alicia, Larry, and Brad,
I'm here.
but you're here too. And then 10 people in the audience, and Steve is on the phone. Item number 2 will be the invocation by Miss Reese and the Pledge of Allegiance by Alicia.
Let's bow our heads. Oh, gracious Father, we come before you with thanksgiving in our hearts. And Lord, we are grateful for all the many blessings you bestow on each and every one of us. We thank you for this council member and all that's going to go before it. We ask that you be in the midst. Lord, I'm grateful for just being here. And I give you thanks for living in this country. Lord, I'm going to make this a short prayer if it's your will. But I'm going to ask the congregation to remember this. Lord, during this time, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight. Oh Lord, my strength and my redeemer. And everybody said,
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Reese, thank you. Okay, item number 3, additions, deletions, corrections to the agenda.
I do not have any.
Alicia, Mark, Brad. All right, item number 4, discuss and approve the following meeting minutes for July the 31st, 2024 budget workshop minutes.
Motion to approve July 31st.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Alicia. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. August 20th, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
Motion to approve August 20th, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
Motion by Brad,
Second.
seconded by Mark. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Report of officers, item number 5, report of officers, city manager.
Previously, the council had okayed to go, for us to go out and contact with Conexon about trying to install broadband within the city. We have contacted them about doing the feasibility study. They have collected the 911 address data to be able to map it out, kind of thing. I talked to her again today, and it's still in the design phase. So, I've asked her again, to try to move it as quick as you can. But like I said, they obviously the company's got a lot of different projects with Blaze Electric, particularly going on. But she said she will do her best to try to speed along as best she can. The other previously too, quite some time ago, Xfinity got about a $6 million grant award under that first award process to do the broadband and fiber optic in the city. And we have not heard anything officially from them when they're going to start on that. But obviously, as earlier we're talking about, there's stuff going on throughout the city with them, but we have not officially heard anything about when they're going to start that project. They may be working on it as part of this. I don't know, but like I said, we haven't heard anything, officially of when they're going to get started. So I think that's all I have right now, unless anybody has anything for me.
I'm good. Bad thing for Larry. Larry, one thing, if you could, please, could you talk to the mowing crew about doing that out here on the walkway when we're coming in? That looks.
I've got something for Larry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it for my reports, but as we all were at the last meeting, we got the news that Mr. LaRue had retired. And the year before, we did a really nice silver plaque that we gave Miss Green for Chalanika. It's different than just your wooden board plaques. But I spoke to Ashley about it. We got it through Eli's Hardware or Eli's Western Wear in Okeechobee. But I think we need to see when he was employed to us. And I know, of course, we're going to get him something. I'd like to see it be that silver plaque instead of just a wooden something etched. It's about that big. I can't, I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't $200, but,
It's really nice.
it's engraved, it's a silver platter and it's engraved on there. So,
He's been the planner for
Yeah.
long as I can remember.
Yeah.
and that's what I was saying, you might dig up, you might have to call somebody else or just call him, but we need to make sure that gets taken
Yeah,
care of.
something nice
As
for
soon as you
him.
get the information, let's order, and I'll talk to Patterson a little bit about it, so maybe he's got a contact number over there at Eli's to get you, so you don't have to chase a bunch of cats. But definitely Jim number 10. That's all I have this time.
Did he, Mr.
On that note, on that note, Mr. LaRue, he had sent us, I believe, Larry, 2 names of potential replacement planners.
Yes, he did.
I guess I'll try to follow, put a call into them to see if they're interested and get some of the parameters and then report back, if you guys want me to.
Yeah, you gotta have to do that. We gotta have a city planner, so
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
be hastily about it.
Okay, we'll do.
Glad I brought it up.
Yeah. Anybody else got anything for Larry? Anybody got anything for Steve? Steve, you got anything?
Well, I was going to bring up about the swearing in of the new council. The charter doesn't really address specifically like some other city charters do. My suggestion was going to be for the upcoming swearing in that we do it the first agenda item on the first meeting in October. The reason being is that we have primarily through CAPSA, as you guys know, a lot of documents floating around back and forth. And there's a tougher hearing on the Union West project, which is potentially $155 million bond issue. So without trying to put a clog into the paper flow, because there's like 20 parties involved, that was my rationale for suggesting we do it at that point. This way the new council would take effect immediately at the first meeting in October, which of course is our first meeting of our new fiscal year. So.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that good with y'all?
This one.
All right. Anything else, Steve?
The other thing was, Angela, so in conjunction with this particular project, she has a tougher hearing scheduled for the afternoon of, I believe the 19th, isn't it, Ashley? I believe.
Yes,
Or,
yes, the 19th.
so going to, yeah, and I had suggested we could do a CAPSA special meeting after the sewer meeting, but because of the timing with Orange County on this particular project, they need this particular approval before the 20th. So would y'all be available for a very quick special meeting on late afternoon of the 19th, which I think is a Thursday?
I'm good.
I'm good with it.
Yeah, we're
Do
good.
you want to do it at 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock or?
No, let's do it
5
at
o'clock?
5.
Okay. So Ashley, can you go ahead and do the notice?
Yes,
It'll be, I believe, CAPSA. I'll confirm the city too, but at least CAPSA just to approve the tougher resolution. And then she had sent that over earlier today, I think, Ashley, so everybody has a copy. So it has a description of the project. That's all I have.
Does anybody got anything for Steve? Thanks, Steve.
Ask him if there's
Welcome.
been any communication between him and the code enforcement officer on Avenue F.
Hey, Steve, Jake.
Yes, there has. I did before I left town. I did speak with Colleen about it, and she was trying to distinguish who is who that has the issues. So Glades County has part of the issue
Hey,
as well as the
Steve,
landowner.
Steve, we're losing you,
Yeah.
buddy. Can you try it again?
Yeah. So when I spoke with Colleen before I left, She was going to look into who owns what in this particular area and, you know, which property owner has the biggest issue. So, I'll follow up with her on that because county owns some property out there, the city owns some property out there, as well as CHL.
No, Steve, we're talking about two different places, buddy. Avenue F, as in Frank.
Oh, no, well, which one is that?
We'll get with you later. We'll just, Larry will get with you tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, keep in mind, I've been out of town for 2 weeks, so the only thing I spoke to her about was that larger piece of property.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Anybody,
Okay.
Ashley? Anybody, anything for Ashley? Okay. Craig A. Smith, CAS. Brad?
On that property you're talking about there in the corner, first buys, I just talked to Archie. The excavator there on site at ARC, we'll move it over. Plan on doing this week, but they have a short week, they're off yesterday. They not having this week, but we're gonna put it in there. He didn't know if he could send me an operator or not, if not, I'll run it over.
Okay. We're gonna do the counties and ours, right?
We do have an overview map of what we own, what they own, what to do with measuring and. Let's go ahead and clear that up on our side, so.
Okay.
Follow up the flood pump over here, it went out again this weekend, over the weekend. Jeremy will be here tomorrow to look at it and see what he can do with it. If it's a starter, if it's an actual pump. I do have a fallout door, the main fallout door open right now, just have to close it and leave, because if the water river comes back up and back in this down. It's down as far as it can go right now. We here tomorrow to work on that.
He looked at the panel the other day.
Quote on the panel, now something else is happening. I think the floats hung up in it, or the pump turned on and off.
Yeah.
Probably done that overnight. That's where I'm at on that. Tomorrow we'll take one of these picnic table close to the water park over there, right? The table park, I think the roof's good, we're gonna take it down tomorrow. Got that caution tape off now, so nobody get on it. Get that taken care of, but there's a lot of stuff around there built out of wood that's gonna need to be replaced.
Make a list.
Doing this schedule,
You heard me ask, anybody got anything for Brad?
Oh, thanks for taking care of that problem at the marina.
yeah, I got
So
so
quick.
quick stuff, that whole piece of down stuff missing, so it's probably the bottom of it.
Oh, it's better than causing some damage on somebody. So thanks, Brad.
But yeah, see if it's somebody who should go.
Brad, you heard me ask Larry, if you don't mind, have a talk with your guys. You know, we spent a lot of money to make this downtown area look nice. And that, when you see that right there, that just makes you plumb sick. So. Okay. Item number 6, approval of the bills in the amount of $56,730.46.
Motion.
I changed it.
Okay.
It went down.
You went down.
Mhm.
I'd like to point out that there's one payment in there for 16,745. That's for the transformer for the new school
And
and
they're-
the school will be forwarding that bill to the school to take care of.
Yeah.
And then there's another payment of $9,750 on there. It's related to the grant for vulnerability assessment. So it's funded through the grant.
Okay.
The two biggest costs on there are transfer.
And just so y'all know, on your bills, there was one duplicated, and that's why
Where you duplicated it.
Okay.
that's what the difference is.
You brought it to my attention.
Yeah.
so-
Motion to approve the bills.
Motion by
Second.
Alicia, seconded by Mark. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, item number 7, citizen comments.
I have a comment.
Of course you do.
That's fine. I don't have a comment. I have a question first. I guess I'm supposed to stay here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Look, I went to Archie a while back, my grandchildren were riding on the golf cart. And a pit bull ran me. So I went out and I talked to Archie, and he said there's nothing on the books that, about dogs. Now, I'm not afraid of too many dogs, but a pit bull is something that I'm not good with. And I think everybody that, I don't know who owns them. I mean, they lives in these places. I don't know if they own the homes or they're renting. But I want to know who's liable if I get bit by a dog. That's what I want to know.
Hold on just a minute. Steve, can you hear this?
Yeah, under Florida law, the dog owner is strictly liable for their animal.
The dog owner.
No, okay, the dog owner. But now the dog owner ain't got no money, probably. The dog owner probably ain't got no money. So he's renting the house that he's living in. Somebody needs to be liable for this stuff. Because I should be able, as old as I am, to ride my golf cart without any repercussions and without me having to pay for a bill that I didn't incur. So now, that's why I'm here tonight. Because I want to know who do I need to, because I'm going to get a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
If that dog bites me and my grandchildren, if Dean don't shoot him, I'm going to get me a lawyer and I'm going to sue somebody. That's just all to it. And at least us going around the bush and watering the roses. Because I don't have, we're old. I can't run from a dog. And I got a little golf cart because that's what I wanted. Okay? Now I should be able to ride down the street.
Yes, ma'am.
And don't have a dog chasing me. Y'all think I'm wrong? And all these folks got these pit bulls and they're walking them and they're doing all this kind of stuff. But like I say, I came tonight to find out who's liable because I've been to Archie and I'm going to y'all city. I'm going to county next. That's going to be my next stop.
Okay. Can I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
Because it ain't my dog.
No, ain't your dog.
But did Archie send the dog?
Well, Archie let me read something in a book. And he told me that's all he had. Well, he probably gave me what he had. I'm not saying that that's not what he had. But to me, it didn't resolve the problem that I had.
No, ma'am. Miss Reese, did the dog come out of the yard and I'm assuming,
the dog
yes.
came out the yard and chased my grandchildren.
Yes. Now that's the problem.
Now that's a problem. See, I could see if I'd have went in their yard. But how can you have a pit bull with no fence?
You can't. You're supposed to have your
Well,
There's a leash law.
there's a leash law.
Well,
it has to be reported.
somebody need to tell me something about this.
Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead, Steve.
It has to be animal control. It has to be reported to animal control. Not that with recourse from them, but it's a problem in every community when there's loose dogs and they attack somebody. Unfortunately, a lot of even the people who own the property don't have insurance, and even if they have insurance, there's usually a dog exclusion or specifically an exclusion for certain types of dogs, which a pit bull would be one of them. It's always a problem. There's really no good answer for it other than calling animal, go out there and initiate a complaint and then go from there.
Okay, I went and complained. Now that's where I've been. I've been out there and talked with them.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you talk to Brandy directly?
That's the girl?
Brandy,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, Brandy is
Well,
the,
I talked to her, but she told me to talk to Archie. So I talked to Archie. So now, who else?
That's the phone calls we keep being told.
Do you know the address?
Well, now I don't know the address, but I can find that for you, Jake. I'll tell you where it is. You know where Mary Joyce McPherson lives down there?
Again, ma'am?
You know where Mary Joyce McPherson lives? You probably don't know.
Yes, I
Okay,
do.
it's down that street. I'll find it out for you tomorrow.
If
And I'll
you,
let you know.
So who's the animal control officer?
Brandy
She
Ball.
should be taken care of. I mean, it's her responsibility to take the
if you get the
report and take, that's why you have an animal control officer.
call Ashley, because we have a responsibility
Yes.
for loose dogs in the city.
Right.
Archie's, go ahead, Larry, you know this better than I.
Well, we have, the animal control officer is funded by the county and the city. And, like I said, she does report to the county, but we partially fund that animal control officer, but they're supposed to be out there and like I said, issuing those citations when you have dogs running loose like that. So.
Well, I know Ashley, because I've taken her more tests than I need to take.
I'm out. Okay. Randy.
Randy.
When I took the test,
Yes, ma'am.
you asked me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I got that.
Randy.
I've taken her test, and I talked to her about the dogs, but she told me to talk to Archie.
Well,
Okay.
let's try and do this. If you get the address,
Okay.
get up here to get it to Ashley tomorrow, and we have all right to call animal control to come up here and
Right.
relay this information. She can go to this address house where the animals are supposedly at, and from there, if they're loose and not on a leash, well, then she can start right then by contacting them, putting a door hanger, letting them know that their
Right.
animals have been running loose and that the city is receiving complaints.
Okay, and I shall be back.
Yeah, if you
And look, I know Mr. Dean, he's pretty good animal control.
Oh, yeah, but see, look, you don't want to cause no problems, because Dean can take care of the problem.
Oh,
I can handle the problem myself.
yeah,
I don't want to go to that resort.
right.
So I'm coming up here talking to you guys
Well,
first.
Like I said, like Jake said, you're right. If you'll get the address and call Ashley tomorrow,
All I want to
and
know.
we'll
that might we'll get her relay that information. That might keep you from getting a lawyer and from him shooting anybody.
Well, like I say.
Or vice versa, or vice versa.
Also, if you can get a picture of the dog out on the road, running around without no leash or not being leashed or tethered or anything, if it can be a video or picture, anything
I'm
like that.
75 years old. If the dog's in the room, I'm gone. I can't.
If you get that picture, even if the same dog by somebody else, but it's that dog that's
Well,
caught.
look,
Then we can he has a report.
Right.
Right.
You can identify it then.
Yeah.
And
well,
track.
you don't have to worry about me identifying, because I probably, if he's at me, I'm not gonna be identifying anything. That's why I'm up here. Somebody else can identify. I mean, what I look like, I look like a pit bull, biggest, because they got pit bulls big as me. I mean, that's why I'm up here.
we're gonna handle this for you, Miss Reese.
Okay, that's all I got for right now, but I shall reach.
Yes, ma'am. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am, please. Do you have a dog chasing you?
And I don't know.
Okay,
New school being built, are they gonna still have Challenger this year?
yes,
They will.
we ain't stopping Chattanooga.
Okay, cause I've heard that Challenger wasn't gonna happen this year. So,
No, we haven't Chattanooga.
thank you. Follow one.
Anybody, and there's no dogs chasing you, and your dogs ain't chasing nobody.
Not yet.
All right, yes, sir.
How about the status on the sewer crossing?
They got the lift station in over there, and now I guess they gotta do it's like the painstaking process, I guess, of trying to, there's a lot of utilities in there about getting the lines in. Yeah, so I guess everything's in. I know the last thing they had was the manhole is in, and it's in.
That's what he was
So
saying.
now they just gotta figure out how they're gonna connect.
When they planning on tying in? Cause I mean, if you wait much longer, the place.
It'll be like 2 months.
You said the water was getting.
Said it's gonna be by, they picked
Big problem with rain. Yeah, I know, I got a lot of.
they're gonna try and have it done by the
Yeah.
last week of October or the first week of September. They're
That's gonna be pushing it though, on coming back. I'm sure they have to shut it down for a few days anyway, I would think.
shut what down?
That plant, I mean, I don't see how they can tie it in that quick.
Well,
That was the last engineer's estimate.
Yeah.
They planned that late October, so.
okay, anyone else? Yes, ma'am. Can you come to the podium, please?
I want to build a private fence at my property.
Yes, ma'am.
I came here to pull a permit this, I believe I live across you.
Yes, you do.
Okay, so they say I have to, they need a special permit for mayor or something like that because they have
She's got
Yes.
a different kind of fence than.
Right,
the
she's
one I
got,
wanted to
yeah,
see.
remember, yeah.
Do you have a picture of it?
Jake, I think what she's, no, what she's wanting is, remember the one that,
Downtown?
she, yeah. Is there any way that if you don't, if we, can we give her a variance? Cause it's, what she's doing is a nice, we actually need to go back and change the ordinance is what we need to do, but yeah, what she's doing is very nice.
Yeah, I try to build everything up.
Yeah, it's.
What's the request?
She's putting in a privacy gate fence around her lot. And it's not, we actually need to go back and change the ordinance is what we need to do, Steve.
Of the material.
Of the material, right.
Setbacks.
Not the setbacks. All we need to do is change the materials, but she's putting the nice,
It's aluminum.
aluminum, privacy fence up.
Oh, okay.
And
Mhm.
can we grant her a variance?
Yeah, you could do an exception, and then if you like, think that the ordinance needs to be updated to include, different materials or whatever design or whatever the case may be, then certainly we can put that, in the pipeline.
Okay.
I have
As soon as you get a new plan.
If Ashley could send me the ordinance, just to remind me, I'll take a look at it.
Ashley shaking her head.
I have another question.
Shaking her head no.
Yes.
To build a pavers driveway. I know in Boston, you don't need permit for that,
Pardon me now?
for pavers driveway.
Okay.
So here we need permit or because from pavers, we don't have to put a permit. In Boston, I don't know here because.
A rule of thumb from what I've been told is.
You
if it
get
costs
pavers
about
over there, Jerry?
$100, it has to have a
You know,
permit.
the total permits over there on pavers over.
Cause they're portable.
And also someone told me that you guys have extra pavers. If you want to sell it to me. If you want to sell it, I'm more than happy. I don't have to go to Home Depot.
We're holding on to our pavers, but, no, you don't have to, I understand it. We do not have to have a permit to put pavers down. But we do have some pavers, but we don't want to sell them right now.
Oh.
But thank you. Is there anything else we can do for you?
Nothing else. So what I have to do? What is the next step?
Just come back in for your permit.
Yeah, come in and see her, see Ashley. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right.
One more thing on the Wi-Fi. And we have our newsletter where we live and it says something about letting people know that we're interested in it. Who do we let know that we're interested or how do we do that?
Ashley.
You send them a letter.
Well, exactly. Who sent you the letter?
No, but I posted it on there because then everybody needs to sign up for that Connexus so that they know that there's a need for it.
Well, that had anything to do with us then.
No, you guys have to approve them to be able to come in and put it in.
But we haven't got that far yet.
Right.
Which, like I said, they're supposed to do, the assessment, they get their engineers working on the design and then they're gonna come back with the feasibility study to tell us this is how much it's gonna be and, that kind of thing. And then we'll, at that point.
We haven't even got that far yet.
We're gonna,
I apologize.
No, that's,
no matter the customer, they're gonna make most of it all poles and stuff, so they're gonna design to cover the entire area. It doesn't matter, how many customers are, they're designed to cover the entire area. As soon as we get that feasibility study and we'll bring it back here to get them.
Tin can strings where it's in.
okay. Thanks, sir. Nick, yes, ma'am.
I don't know if I'm in the right place or not, but I just.
Come on up to this podium. We'll help you out.
I just wanted to know maybe who to talk to or, just make aware the people that are in charge from the city. I think we only have one main sidewalk, right? Avenue K goes from the school, goes past the sheriff's department to the playground to here. There's not like a lot of sidewalks.
Right.
People can't walk down that sidewalk anymore and feel safe.
Well, what's the problem?
That if you just go down Avenue K,
That big oak tree on the corner right there, it's messed up all that sidewalk right there.
well, not only that, but, just like
Yeah.
the people, the activity.
Mhm.
Yes.
It is,
Did you hear this, Pat?
just in the last 2 years, I've only lived here I moved back 2 years
Map
ago,
this place.
almost exactly 2 years ago. And I would have never thought that I would be seeing the things I see every day and the things I have to talk to my kids about now. I have to talk to them about sex work. I have to talk to them about meth, what it smells like whenever it's being made. I have to talk to them about my own family members that are wandering around. And yes, I did call the police. I did get someone trespassed from living in the bushes in my yard and everything like that. And it's hard, and I'm not mad at the people. I'm not mad at anybody. I just want to be safe. There's one girl, I don't know her name, but since I've lived here, she has the same schedule every single day. She's a little like disabled, but she goes to the library every day. I haven't seen her in like 3 or 4 weeks. And the last time I talked to her, I said, and she said she can't really walk down there anymore because the men are so mean and say bad things to her. So now she doesn't have a sidewalk to walk on, and she tries to follow the rules. So, like, why are they trying to follow the rules and then they have to stay home all day? I don't know what she does, but I'm sure she doesn't have a driver's license or even a car.
Right.
And then I have 10 kids. I put a fence up so that they could play in the fence area. And then we bought the land beside us, so we'd have that too. But now I'm like,
Looks like you're,
so it's emotional.
Yes, ma'am, and I totally understand. My niece used to live on that street. And maybe Officer Willis can take this back to the sheriff and see what,
we're all, what you're talking.
we're very aware of it.
I was told to do surveillance.
Well,
Take pictures,
that's
write
really
down
not your
the-
job to be doing surveillance, but you don't put yourself in harm's way.
Well, now I'm just taking pictures of everybody that comes through. I'm like, smile. Well, they don't even walk down my street anymore, so my sidewalk is unusable in front of my house because they don't even use it.
Right.
Because they know I have cameras
Well,
and I take pictures of them.
like I said, maybe now that you've said this to us, Officer Willis is hearing it. I'm sure the sheriff will get a message, and we're all aware of it. It's not something that I hate to say it, but this is something that we're all aware of.
At the previous meeting, that property was brought up about the code enforcement with the junk in the front of it, the things in the back. And the code enforcement officer went and met him on the street, and spoke to him and told him that they needed to start cleaning the property up because it was a health hazard. And they did pick some of it up, but they pick it up and then it goes right back to what you were talking about.
Okay.
And my final thing is the young lady that you're speaking about that doesn't have a driver's license and goes to the library. She did come to the library today and help with the children's program. So I did see her there. She lives right, you know where she lives, right? Yeah. But I did see her come up here today. So
Yeah, I just don't see her taking the same time every day at the same time, and then I just quit seeing her. I was like,
well, I sure appreciate your concern.
Yeah,
and
thank you very
it's
much.
Something that we've addressed several times and it's ongoing. Yes, ma'am. So maybe
well, I kind of know what time of the month the law of traffic comes in. It's always the first of the month.
Well, I'm 1 street away from you and she's across the street, so
August
we
29th.
know,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, it was like a lot of traffic. And I was like, it's always around the first of the month.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, anybody else? Yes, ma'am. Good.
Thank you, Linda.
Okay, Mayor and council to give reports. Jake?
Got a couple of things, definitely that Jim LaRue thing, we want to stay on top of that. Pat, since you're active right there on this is, we've been talking that, with the new street design, people are still, you'll catch them driving the wrong way down the one-way street. You'll catch them parking where they're not supposed to be parking. And Mark had a few complaints about things that he'd seen, and Clay did too. So what I was wondering is, what I wanted to ask you is the way you generate a post when there's an accident or a traffic advisory through your website. We share our concerns with you. Can you generate a post to let the community know that, to start following the traffic rules and regulations around the park, and update them, say, one of the things is we got a new one-way street. So you need just make the community aware of it.
So you want us to basically mimic, on social media, basically for what you guys need
Yes,
added to social media. That's not a problem.
yes. And then, because we see your post and it's shared constantly. So we thought, the thought process was if we could tell you our problems, you generate the post, and then we would pick it up and put it on our sites, right, Ashley? I know one of the problems they're having is on that side of the road, there's no parking. So, no, ma'am. You see, it takes to get the first ticket right now.
Don't worry, Miss Reese.
See, it's just things like that. They've been habit. It's been going on forever and ever, and they don't realize it, but we're trying to improve
Miss
it.
Reese, I did it last week, so you're okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what now? You talk about a post. I'm not savvy on that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I wouldn't have known.
Well, yeah,
I went down the other day in my golf cart and saw it was a one-way. So I just did a U-E. But I didn't know that. And so y'all have to give us variance for old people that don't on Facebook and all that kind of stuff.
what we want to tell
I
them
don't do
is
that.
put on the post, just,
Y'all,
Miss
I'm
Reese.
just not, I'm not.
Miss Reese, look, there's a certain council person, I'm not saying his name, he's been here about 50 years, that still thinks it's a two-way street, so it's.
I didn't know you.
Ashley needs to generate it.
We are gonna have, definitely all on it.
Yeah.
On Riverside, as soon as they get out.
Okay.
I'll make one up.
Thing,
So
and then post.
it's two-way traffic and then parking on this side, so you try to start matching in, there's two-way traffic there.
So this is a one-way.
no, Avenue J.
Avenue J,
Over here, where Clarkson used to be, it's
Right.
one-way.
that's one way, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Front of the city hall is
It's
a one-way?
two-way.
It's a two-way.
Yes, ma'am.
We're working on striping, so that should help with some of the confusion.
Okay.
Had Alicia's, yes, ma'am, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I just want to make a comment about the one way. The way that sign is on that stop sign,
Down here,
let me think, across from the Eagles,
okay,
okay? It makes it look like the other side is a one-way also.
other side of,
On the other side of the Eagles, yeah, if you turn down and go on, like going to the courthouse,
yeah,
Take a right on J.
if you take a right, it looks like you can't do that.
I didn't notice that, but I will.
That has been, and I wasn't the only one that
Would
noticed
you
that.
suggest you move,
Just move
replace
it
the
across over the other side of the street, over to the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how to explain
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
but then you'd realize it was that street only that's one way, but now it looks like that whole area. And like I said, I'm not the only one that noticed it that way too.
We can look into it, but I don't, the rules and regulations where to put the signs at, the handicap
That's-
signs, so
Yeah.
Oh.
I just thought I'd bring that up because it was confusing.
that's concerning. I mean, we want to address it if we can move it, and Alicia had a good idea. There was a couple other things other than just the streets. It was minors in the park and on the sidewalks with their golf carts. She had a good idea to let Ashley generate the email and get it sent to you, and then you can put it on social media. Is that
Yeah, and then I'll share yours, because if it's coming from y'all, it's better than
Yeah.
coming from
That's,
us.
that's why we want to come from you to have a little teeth. So we look, okay, we can't be down there doing this because they're writing tickets now. I mean, last week I came up here and there was a lady sitting in her car next to the swing set, kid on the swing, with a car in there. So
Yeah,
those,
I think, yeah, we got a phone call on
yeah, so
that. Just, come down and take care. So, yeah.
we just want to try and keep it
Safe.
safe. Yeah.
Well, the best thing for us is what we want to do is we want to turn around and educate, because if we educate, that way people know what's happening. But if you have to continuously educate, then the person's not being educated, then they have to turn around, you have to take that next step. And that's the hardest part, is to make sure that we educate first.
Okay.
So, and that does everything better on it, because it doesn't, you guys don't get complaints back on it. And, if somebody didn't know, gets educated, they get educated, get a warning, that's it. And then, enforcement, we don't want to write tickets unless we have to, unless somebody decides they want to talk themselves into it.
That's all we're asking for, I think,
Yeah, that's it.
just to put a little teeth into it and keep protecting our ordinances. All right, thank you, Pat. Yeah, that was it. We talked about, one of the meetings, Alicia asked about painting the backside of that wall up there, and I kind of broke her off and interrupted her and talked about the TDC. We had a TDC meeting the other day, and she wanted to reorganize the board that day, and can't do that if I'm not going to be there. So they can't reorganize that board until the county commission reorganizes. TDC will be null and void until the new commissioners are sworn in. So I didn't mean to overstep and say, don't paint that wall, we're going to do something, but that is something that the fixation station is very capable of doing. And I would like to see the city council move forward with that and not rely on tourism development, because
We're just gonna paint it a gray.
Even if we go ahead and paint it gray, I mean, I would love the mural on it. Obviously, the river's a huge source from Raven, but I mean, if we go ahead and paint it gray, it would look so much better.
Let's just,
just paint it gray, and then if TDC comes back around,
And
If they want to put something on it, a mural on it,
we're gonna have to paint it to begin with.
it really needs it. It really needs it.
So as far as that TDC, I threw you under the bus. Told them that you would probably be the most successful up there. But there's gonna be a lot of changes made to that. Hopefully the TDC will go back to the county manager and get it out of the building department where it should have never been to begin with. Lights on 27. There was a gentleman from DOT, the day of the election, and he was going from pole to pole. And I stopped him and asked him what he was doing. He said he came through town last night and realized all these lights weren't working. So he come back and he identified them. I told him to reach out to you.
He has.
Okay. So we're gonna get them for the safety, hopefully, yeah.
Which lights were out, the overhead?
Well, sometimes half of them are working on the bridge and they're not working downtown. Sometimes it's the other way. But the night that he came through and they weren't working, we had one heck of a bad lightning storm that night. And the red lights were blinking. Yeah.
That's already been resolved.
Okay, well, is he gonna replace the ones that the accidents and the cars and stuff have taken out?
The whole fridge, just getting a better time.
All right.
That one on the corner by the Bank of America, okay, I was gonna tell you about that one. I figured you'd see it today, but
And there's a couple on top of the bridge too, but
We only control up to halfway.
that's right.
The other side of it,
That's right.
don't have no arm on it
Yeah.
anymore.
Right.
yeah.
That's, they have to do
That's the stuff we need to,
we stop halfway at top.
yep, okay, that's it. Unless anybody has anything for me.
Thank you,
That's all
Jay.
I have for now.
Lisa?
I don't have anything.
I have one question. Who's in charge of city workers?
That man right over there.
Oh, you are? Oh, glad you know that. Okay. That's all. You helped me with something the other day. I didn't know if that was your job or not. I gave him some trash that I
I need to get me a bulldog.
He wears a lot of hats.
forgot. That's nice.
Yes, sir.
He's on the halfway thing. You do halfway on the bridge?
City limits.
City limits.
Zero the other half.
County.
DOT. All right, Mark.
Do we have any millings that we can use?
You have. So.
Would you put some down in that lake down by the entrance to the marina there?
Down by the,
There's a big old,
Oh, just as you turn in by the.
and get rid of
that,
Yeah,
that sign that's been laying there for months. And that concrete. Thank you, Brad.
Anybody got anything from Mark? Brad?
Okay.
You good? I want to piggyback off, Mark, Brad, there at the marina, that, parking spot, the bumper, I guess what they would
That's
call
what
it.
I was talking about.
part of my curb.
That curb, we need to replace it or take it up one. And, yes, sir. Now you starting to act like me now.
I spoke to Ashley a few times about this, and I spoke to her again about it today. I don't know how many times she's helped the police department through our cameras on figuring out what the heck's going on up here.
It was, yeah.
That boat burning down, that was all on camera. That was a great big insurance help for us. But it's worth the money for you to let her put some cameras. We can hang them on the library. Not a problem. I've already talked to Miss Fisher, like I said, but she needs a couple more cameras because the cameras that we have now, they only make it about halfway in the park. And need to put one towards my suggestion, one towards the Veterans Memorial, the cypress tree, and then maybe one shooting down the street that direction.
About three.
And if that's what you,
Can you get us a price for 3 more cameras?
The one for the, that you're wanting to put over there at the library for the Veterans Memorial would have to be a whole separate thing because they run off of a box.
so it'd be a
That
Joey
is-
install.
Yeah, so it'd have to be a whole new install because they'd have to run it on the library. My suggestion would be to put one of the cameras like we had before. That's just a cheaper one that we would just maintain here. And on that, and then if we want to add on out here, I had already talked to Joey before about extending a wire out to our supply room in between the bathrooms. And then we can go out further with our cameras from there.
And I'll
Tell your dogs to be
I'll
quiet.
tell you this too, is cameras. It was a Saturday before and I knew nobody was up here working, but I could hear a backup alarm. I didn't think of it. Come back the next day. And somebody just decided down here by Thomas's, by the boat docks, somebody decided just to come in there and take a section of curb out. And they left with it.
Wait, what happened now? Right down here.
Yeah. They just took a whole section.
Oh, no, 2 Saturdays ago?
I think so. I heard.
I'll get back with you on that. So they didn't take it.
I don't know where it's at, but it's not.
No, I
bad.
didn't know where it was at either. I know. You know what he's talking about, Mark?
Yeah, I know.
Somebody hang up on it?
Somebody was using a shovel down
Shut up, Mark. I
don't know.
Yeah, I'll get back with you. We need to
We
put
definitely
another,
need the cameras anyway.
we need to put another curb or something down there. So, but yeah, I might know a little bit about that.
Yeah, the grant, it'll be a new.
Yes.
Cameras actually.
Definitely on the
Yeah.
tree
So,
and.
Yes.
on this road.
okay, I think,
That's all I have.
are you sure?
That's it.
Okay. You starting to act like me now, come back 3 or 4 times. All right, does anybody have anything else? All right. Discuss financial statements if needed. Item number 10, adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Alicia, seconded by Brad, all in favor? Motion carries.
You get that address.
Get that address, Miss